Club soda cost $1 a liter. White vinegar cost 80 cents a gallon. Table salt costs 60 cents a box. A single lemon costs 50 cents. And direct sunlight, the most powerful natural bleaching agent ever identified by science, costs nothing. These 5 ingredients remove every stain that exists on every fabric made. Red wine, coffee, blood, grease, ink, grass, mud, sweat, chocolate, tomato sauce, lipstick, motor oil, berry juice, mustard, pet accidents, rust, yellow underarm discoloration. Scorch marks, old set-in stains that have been in the fabric for months. 5 ingredients, less than $3 total. No trip to the dry cleaner, no $40 commercial stain sticks, no bottle of OxyClean, no Tide pen, no Shout. No fabric-specific pre-treatment sprays. No chlorine bleach that destroys the fibers of the clothing it is supposed to save. Before 1945, this was not alternative cleaning. It was not frugal living. It was the only cleaning. Every American household, from the wealthiest Manhattan brownstone to the poorest Appalachian cabin, used some combination of these 5 ingredients to handle every stain that ever touched a garment. The knowledge was universal. Then a chemical industry worth billions of dollars decided that universal knowledge was a problem they solved by replacing 5 free ingredients with 40 branded products. And they have spent the last 80 years making sure you never remember what your great-grandmother knew by heart. The American dry cleaning industry generates $9 billion a year. There are over 36,000 dry cleaning businesses operating in the United States. The average American household uses dry cleaning services between 4 and 12 times per year, spending between $300 and $900 annually on garment cleaning alone. Add commercial stain removers. The global spot and stain remover market is worth over $7 billion. Tide to Go pens retail at $3 each. OxyClean sells for $9 to $14 a container. Shout cost $5 a bottle. Spray and wash cost $4. Carbona specialty stain removers, 1 product for ink, 1 for grease, 1 for red wine, 1 for blood, sell for $6 to $9 each. The average American kitchen, laundry room, and bathroom contain between 6 and 12 separate stain-related products. Pre-treatment sprays, oxygen bleaches, chlorine bleaches, color-safe bleaches, fabric-specific cleaners for silk, wool, synthetic, and cotton, rust removers, scorch removers. Pet stain enzymatic treatments, each one marketed as essential. Each one designed to solve a single problem that the 5-ingredient system solves for free. Over a 30-year period, the average household spends between $12,000 and $30,000 on dry cleaning bills and chemical stain products. $30,000. Spent on problems that were completely solved for pennies in every home in America. 100 years ago, the commercial stain industry has no interest in permanence. A Tide pen that works too well is a Tide pen that never gets repurchased. A bottle of OxyClean that removes a stain in one treatment is a bottle that lasts too long. The entire business model depends on products that work just well enough to seem useful, but not well enough to stop the cycle of repurchasing. The 5-ingredient system has no cycle. It has no subscription, it has no packaging, it has no expiration. It has no seasonal scent collection, it has no brand ambassador, it has club soda, it has vinegar, it has salt, it has lemon, it has sun, it removes everything, it always has. The reason you pay $1,400 a year for a service your great-grandmother performed for free is not because she was primitive. It is because a $9 billion industry cannot exist if you remember what she knew. In 1933, during the worst year of the Great Depression, the unemployment rate in the United States reached 25%. Bank failures had wiped out the savings of millions of families. And yet, photographs from that era, preserved in the Library of Congress, show something peculiar. American families, even the poorest, were dressed in clean clothes. White shirts, pressed collars, unstained aprons, bright linens. This was not because they had money for laundry services. They did not. It was because every American household possessed the stain removal knowledge that had been transferred from mother to daughter since colonial times. Salt and lemon for fresh stains, cold club soda for set-in stains, white vinegar for color bleeds and perspiration, direct sunlight for whitening and disinfection, a bar of lye soap rubbed directly into stubborn spots. The system was universal, and it required almost nothing. Then the post-war chemical industry arrived. In 1948, the newly formed Perchloroethylene Dry Cleaning Association began a coordinated campaign to reshape American attitudes toward home laundry care. Perchloroethylene, a synthetic solvent invented during the war, was now being marketed to dry cleaning operators across the country as a revolutionary cleaning agent. The problem for the industry was that American housewives already knew how to remove stains at home. That knowledge had to be undermined. The association funded articles in Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, and Ladies' Home Journal. These articles presented home stain removal as old-fashioned, unsanitary, and likely to damage fine garments. Dry cleaning was framed as modern, professional, and essential for anyone who cared about their clothing. The home economics curriculum, which had taught stain removal as a standard domestic skill since 1910, began quietly removing these lessons from textbooks between 1952 and 1958. By 1960, the dry cleaning industry had more than doubled in size. Home stain removal had been culturally reclassified as a desperate or lower-class practice. A generation of women who had grown up watching their mothers rub salt into a wine stain now believed that only a professional could save the garment. The University of Wisconsin Department of Home Economics conducted a comparative study in 1953 testing traditional home stain removal methods against commercial dry cleaning on identical fabric samples. The results showed that, for water-based stains, home methods were equal to or better than professional dry cleaning in 91% of cases. The study was published in the Journal of Home Economics. It was peer-reviewed. It was never cited in a single consumer advertisement. Then or since, not banned outright, just never mentioned again in any home economics textbook published after 1960. Never referenced in any women's magazine cleaning feature published after 1962. Never included in any commercial stain remover comparison a consumer was ever allowed to see. The knowledge was not disproven, it was replaced by a $9 billion industry that depends on you never learning what was already proven to work. The system has 5 components. Every one of them is available at any grocery store in America, or free from your own tap, your own fruit bowl, and your own backyard. Here is exactly what each one does, what stains it removes, and how to apply it. Component 1. Club soda. A 1-liter bottle costs between 80 cents and $2. It lasts through dozens of stain treatments. Club soda is water carbonated with dissolved carbon dioxide and sodium salts. When it contacts a fresh stain, 3 things happen simultaneously. The carbonation physically lifts the stain particles out of the fabric fibers. The sodium content prevents the stain from setting by disrupting the bonding of organic pigments to cellulose and protein fibers. And the cold temperature shocks the stain, stopping the chemical reaction that locks it in place. The chemistry is straightforward. Most organic stains, wine, coffee, tea, fruit juice, blood, set when their pigments oxidize and form covalent bonds with fabric fibers. Club soda's dissolved carbon dioxide acidifies the stain site slightly and interrupts this bonding process. The bubbles agitate mechanically. The result is a stain that releases with nothing more than a clean cloth blotting the area. For any fresh wet stain on any fabric, pour club soda directly onto the stain until saturated. Blot with a clean white cloth, never rub, always blot. Repeat until the stain transfers from the fabric to the cloth. This single ingredient removes every liquid stain including red wine, coffee, tea, fruit juice, soda, and fresh blood. Cost per treatment, roughly 5 cents. 2. Table salt. A 1-pound box costs 60 cents. It lasts years. Salt is a crystalline desiccant. It pulls moisture out of fabric through simple osmosis. Applied to a fresh wet stain, salt absorbs the liquid, drawing the pigment up out of the fibers and into the salt crystals, where it can be brushed away once dry. For red wine on carpet or upholstery, pour salt generously, enough to completely cover the stain, immediately after the spill. Let it sit for at least 30 minutes. The salt will turn pink as it absorbs the wine. Vacuum or brush away. For most fresh red wine stains on cotton or synthetic fibers, this single step is enough. Salt also removes fresh grease stains. Sprinkle a thick layer over any oil or grease spot on fabric, tablecloth, or upholstery. Let sit for 15 minutes. Brush away. The grease will have transferred from the fibers into the salt. This replaces commercial grease-cutting stain removers that cost $5 to $8 per bottle. 3. White vinegar. 1 gallon costs 80 cents. It handles the majority of set-in stains that club soda and salt cannot. Vinegar is a dilute acetic acid solution. At 5% concentration, it is strong enough to dissolve mineral deposits, neutralize alkaline stains, and break down the molecular structure of set-in organic residues without damaging fabric fibers. For perspiration and underarm yellowing, Apply undiluted white vinegar directly to the stain and let it sit for 15 minutes before washing. The acetic acid neutralizes the alkaline salts in dried perspiration and dissolves the aluminum compounds left by antiperspirants. These are the compounds that cause the yellow discoloration. No commercial product targets this chemistry directly. Vinegar does it for pennies. For color bleeds, where one garment's dye has transferred onto another, soak the affected item in a solution of 1 cup vinegar per gallon of cool water for 1 hour, then wash normally. The acid releases the transferred dye without stripping the original color from the fabric. For mildew, mold, or musty odors in fabric, spray undiluted vinegar onto the affected area. Let sit for 30 minutes, then wash. Vinegar kills over 90% of mildew species on contact. Commercial mildew removers cost $7 to $12. Vinegar costs pennies. For scorch marks from an iron, soak a cloth in vinegar and lay it over the scorch. Apply a warm iron through the cloth. The scorch will transfer up into the cloth and out of the garment. 4. Lemon juice. 1 lemon costs 50 cents. 1 lemon contains enough juice for 3 to 5 stain treatments. Lemon juice is a stronger acid than vinegar, containing 5 to 6% citric acid. It is also a mild natural bleaching agent when combined with sunlight. The combination of citric acid and ultraviolet light breaks down stain molecules at the molecular level through photooxidation. For rust stains on white or light fabrics, apply lemon juice directly to the stain, sprinkle with salt, and lay the garment flat in direct sunlight for 1 to 2 hours. The rust will disappear completely. Commercial rust removers are classified as hazardous chemicals, require gloves, and cost $7 to $10 per bottle. Lemon and sun replace them for free. For ink stains, saturate the stain with lemon juice and let it sit for 30 minutes before rinsing with cold water and washing. This lifts most ballpoint pen ink from cotton, linen, and most synthetic fibers. For scorch marks, fruit stains, and general yellowing on white fabrics, rub a cut lemon directly across the stain and place the garment in the sun for 2 to 4 hours. The citric acid plus ultraviolet light bleaches out the stain without the fiber damage caused by chlorine bleach. 5. Direct sunlight. Cost $0. Sunlight is the most powerful, oldest, and most completely forgotten cleaning agent in human history. Ultraviolet radiation breaks organic molecules apart through photodissociation. It kills bacteria, mold spores, and fungal growth. It bleaches organic stains without the fiber damage caused by commercial bleaches. It neutralizes odors at the molecular level by decomposing the volatile compounds that cause them. For white cotton, linen, or cloth diapers, hanging the fabric in direct sunlight for 2 to 6 hours removes yellowing, set-in organic stains, and baby formula stains that no commercial product can eliminate. This works even on stains that have been in the fabric for months or years. For baby clothing, cloth diapers, and white sheets, sun bleaching is far more effective than chlorine bleach because it does not weaken the fibers. Hospitals across Europe used solar sterilization in their laundries well into the 1950s. The method is free, chemically inert, and demonstrably superior for most white fabrics. 5 ingredients. Under $3 combined, every stain class eliminated, every commercial stain product replaced. The chemistry has not changed since your great-grandmother's time. Club soda still lifts fresh stains. Salt still absorbs wet pigment. Acetic acid still neutralizes alkaline residues. Citric acid still bleaches with sunlight. Ultraviolet radiation still decomposes organic molecules. The products under your sink do the same things. In bottles with brand names, at a $1,400 a year price tag. Walk into any American farmhouse in 1935, any tenement building in Brooklyn, any miner's cottage in West Virginia, any sharecropper's house in the Mississippi Delta. On every clothesline, in every backyard, white sheets and shirts hung in the sun. Not because these families could not afford dryers. Dryers did not yet exist in most homes. They hung them in the sun because every woman in America knew that sunlight finished what salt, vinegar, and lemon had started. From 1790 to 1945, 155 years of American domestic life, the 5-ingredient stain removal system was the standard. A linen tablecloth passed from grandmother to granddaughter might serve 3 generations without ever seeing a dry cleaner. White cotton shirts lasted decades. Baby clothes were handed down through 4 and 5 children. The fabric survived because the cleaning method was gentle. The method was gentle because the ingredients had been refined, tested, and perfected over centuries. The French had used lemon and sun bleaching in the linen industry since the 17th century. Entire fields outside of Paris were reserved for solar bleaching of cloth. The bleaching grounds of 18th century Holland were world famous. Dutch linen was the standard against which all other fabrics were measured, because the Dutch understood what modern industry pretends to have forgotten. Sun, acid, and salt clean better than chemistry. Japanese households have used vinegar and salt for stain removal since the Heian period, over 1,000 years. Scandinavian households relied on birch ash, vinegar, and snow bleaching, the cold equivalent of sun bleaching, through centuries of harsh winters. The knowledge is not American. It is human. It was the most universal domestic skill in the recorded history of textiles. And it took exactly 12 years of coordinated industry advertising to erase it from the minds of an entire generation. For under $3, 1 bottle of club soda, 1 box of salt, 1 gallon of vinegar, 1 lemon, and a sunny afternoon, you can eliminate every stain in every garment you own. Starting today. The same system that kept American households spotless for 155 years will work on the shirt you are wearing right now. The Complete Depression-era Household Manual, including exact formulas for every stain category, every fabric type, and every situation your great-grandmother knew by heart, is linked in the description below. Over 100 formulas. 1 document. 1 price. Tomorrow, this channel will show you the exact dish soap replacement that was used in every American kitchen before 1940, and why the dish soap industry has spent $4 billion making sure you never rediscover it. Every product in your home once had a $0 version. They buried it. Now you know.